Well, hello there, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Today we are. It may seem like a simple exercise, but it's also a. Um, will come up in let's say, ideas or principles in user interface design. We will look at, or basically, probably would have to go over two sessions. The first one, he will look at the interface, and then we will look at some code behind it. We may get to the code today, I'm not quite sure. It's going to be a calculator. There's probably a dime a dozen out on the internet, but also they are simple and not so simple at the same time. The not so simple part is the how do you actually calculate the um, calculate an answer when you have things like 1 plus 2 times 3. Do you need to write a parser for that? um, so it brings up many. Do you want the display to look like a real calculator where once you hit the plus sign a number might disappear and you put in a new number? Or can I just type 1 and I can 1 plus 2 and I see the plus sign as well? These are not really questions we're going to worry about for today, but we are going to or we will create the screen at least for the calculator and go from there. So, excuse me. The first thing we will need to look at is putting on. So, what does a calculator contain? So, what we might do is I'm just going to open up another browser screen here, and let's have a look. Let's find ourselves a basic calculator. C-A-L-C-U-L-A-T. Okay, so we'll bring this across, and you can see what a calculator might look like here. Funnily enough, Google has one already. 1 plus 2 equals, and we get an answer like that, 3. So if we were to look at some images, for instance, we've got one like here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, a bunch of symbols on the operations on the right hand side, divide, multiply, minus, then a big plus sign, and typically is going to be here 0, dot, and a plus and a minus. So, and then maybe an equal sign on the very bottom. So, okay, so we know what buttons we need. I guess the other thing you'll note is the in the layout is this. Let's say all these buttons here are the same size. The spacing between each button looks the same. They have different coloring here, which we may or may not worry about, but you get the idea. So let's go back to our program here, and I'm going to probably use a speed button here. Okay, that looks maybe a bit small. I'm going to get rid of that one, and we'll make our buttons a bit bigger here. And let us see whether we can put a value inside of that. So here we are going to put we'll make that a 0. And now to make life easier, I'm just going to copy that button and paste, paste, paste. Okay, so let's go for there. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not. There you go. Copy. 2, 3, 4. Copy, paste, and paste again. I'm going to struggle with this one here a bit, and we'll do again. Okay, so let's. Okay, we're going to have to do something about this because that is somewhat annoying to me. So let's go to here. We select all the items, and we can, if you want to move them around in one go, we can. I'm thinking I might use a memo control here for to put the answer into. No, 1 2 1 0 1 2 3 4 7. Okay, so here in this one here we will put in a where's my, what can I use as a divide? I'll just go with a slash here. This one here, what would be a multiplication? So we'll put that there. Not overly. This one here will be a minus. This one here can be a, we'll put an equal sign there. And over here we can make that a plus. And this one will put a dot. Okay, so I've got a dot there. Now this one here we'll need to put in, that will be 1. Sorry about the time this takes, but it's part of development. 3 4 5. So that should be 6. Nearly there. 7. Now I guess the other thing you would have noted here is that I have I just placed a whole bunch of controls, and you can see here it's 1 10 3 16 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 probably. And what we need to take into account now will be the tab order. And I just wonder whether I can just move them down maybe just one slot. Okay, that's a bit better. Now these ones here will, these ones here we will have to move down, and these ones here we will also move down. That's looking a little bit better. And I'm sort of eyeballing this for the sake of the video. The gaps on the left and right look the same, and the gaps on the top and the bottom look the same, or thereabouts. I'm not going to bring a ruler out for this. So the next part now to look at is the tab order for our controls. And we probably don't want, well, hang on, we're missing a couple of buttons here, but I think what I might do for, let's just bring all of those down by a couple, because some calculators have like a memory button also, and a cancel button. So we'll just take those, copy those two and paste them. And at the moment what we're going to do is we'll just leave them there. We'll just pretend, we can always put some other buttons on there if you want to compare it to the Google one. The other thing you'll note that I'm doing here to move the controls around is that I'm holding the control key down to select a whole bunch of items so I can move them all at once. This is quite handy when you do need to play with a group of controls. So we're going to make this one here a C, and I'm not quite sure what we'll do with it. Well, actually, I might get rid of this button here, and I'll just put this one here. Let's say about. Okay, let's move all of these ones down again. So it's all. Does that look right to you peoples? It doesn't look quite right to me. But anyway, what we'll look at now, so the next thing that you need to consider will be the tab order. So the tab order is when a user just keeps on pressing the tab button, where will they go next? You probably wouldn't want or you might want the user to be able to type directly into there. Similarly, you want to be able to allow the user to have keyboard input and they don't have to click on an actual button for before the number appears on the screen. And then as we move, we want to then add the next element onto the back of the equation, and so that when they hit the equal sign we will get an answer. Well, that's the theory. And the other thing to note will be also that we'll find out that how can we add the sums up, and this will come into place. This will be where it will be knowing what's available to you and let's say exploiting that to your advantage, i.e. do I need to write a parser, or can I find one online that will do the job for me? I know that Free Pascal does have an expression parser and we will be using that. So first of all though, we need to look at our tab order. So we can look at the tab order here, and looks like my speed buttons don't have a knot in here, so that's a bit frustrating. Hang on, now let's try it. Tab order again. Only that one there. Well, we're going to run this program, and if I need to replace them all with buttons, I certainly shall. Let's see whether we've got a... Is there a tab order here? Tab. Tag. Nope. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I wonder whether there's an... if I can change the class of that one. Let's say change to a regular button, hey? Hit OK, and that worked. So now let's go for our tab order again, and this time I do have the other button here, which is that one there, available to me. So what we're going to now, so this is another, I'm going to say I've only just found this function here and I sort of guessed at what it would do, but hey, I've made a mistake. I've set them up as speed buttons, and now I want to change all of these here to buttons. So select them all, right mouse click. Okay, this will be a one-off thing. Okay, so that's okay. Change class, we'll make this a T button again. This one here can become on if change class. I'll edit this part out if I need to. Change class. If you were doing this in Delphi, say, you could always, or even here probably, you could also open up the a form in text and modify, each reference as you needed. So, and I have done this in the past. So here we go. Change. We're about halfway there now, and I might just leave all these, these changes and mistakes in there because hey, I'm not really afraid to, show you what's happening here. Change class. In actual fact, what I might do on this one here, I'm just going to, let's go back to here, change class button, and let's just copy that one, hit OK, change class and to that one, change class to that one, change class to that one. I'm just doing a copy and paste here, by the way. or from what I originally did. So change class to that one. Change class to that one, and change class for that one. So now they should all be T buttons, good. And now we will, because we don't know what buttons what really when you look at speed button 10 versus 11. So we need to now, again, we need to give these things some proper names. So let's call this one SB, well actually it's really a button, button clear, CLEAR, and it's that one there. Button 7, button 8, button 9, and you can see here now that my buttons are, I've got a button 7 up there, 8 and 9 down here, and if that may affect our tab order as well. So button 4, button 5, button 6, button mul here, button minus minus, button, and so we'll call that one button plus, button dot, button O. Now that one, nope, button 2, and if you're something you were going to use in more than one place, you could always make some of this into a component of its own. I'm sure that one might be out there, but what we're trying to do here is an exercise in user interface. So while we've got a form here, we now will go into look at the tab order now and see whether they all make sense to us. So if we go from the button, we're going to go from the memo to the clear, 7, 8, 9, the divide, 4, 5, 6, mul, 1, 2, 3, minus, dot, 0, dot, plus, answer. So let's just build our program. Actually, we should give our program a proper name actually first of all. So what have I just done? Hang on, let's quit it. So we'll go here to file, save, and my window will probably open up somewhere. Oh no, here it goes. Okay, so let's make a new folder here, and we'll call this one here calculator, CALCULATOR. Go here. Okay, so we're saving the project here, and we'll call this one here home calc with homebrew calculator. We'll call this one here, so let's call it that one. And now we want to save the unit, U main, U for unit, and it's a main unit. And now we will build it. And now it's running. So let's just test out our tab order. 1, 2. And that looks pretty good to me. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. So look, when you are writing or creating user interface, you need to consider people who will use their use the keyboard to, and particularly let's say the tab key. I don't know why they would use the tab key in this particular instance, but the tab order of controls is important. Now, like I said, when I do look at these controls here, they do look a bit over the place. So what we can do here, perhaps, is to just get all these controls here. And I know in Delphi I had an option to be able to scale. Would that one? No, wouldn't we scale? Wouldn't we size? I want to be able to space evenly. I guess what I would do otherwise, look, I'd have to work out here between now and next time what I would do here to how I can, guarantee all the spacing is the same. If you know how I could do that, here we go, horizontally, and we want to space equally, space equally. Let's see what this will do for us. Ooh, hang on, Control Z. Control Z is our savior. It horizontally and vertically. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to worry about that for next time. I'm not going to fuss too much about it, except I will say that when you are doing something for a customer, spacing of elements is important. That means spacing from the top of the form to the first control, left-hand side to the first control, bottom to the one of the bottom controls, right-hand side to the right-hand side controls. Other things you can also take into account, because I have set this up as a window at the moment. If the user does resize it or wants to resize it, and we're going to run it again right now, I just want to show you something here. The user here can make this thing look, let's say, pretty ugly, and they can lose things. So what we can do here, well, there's probably two options. You could align the controls with the let's say make the field grow or shrink depending on the size of the form. The other way we will do it here is to make it into a dialog, and that way the user will not be able to change the height or the width of the form. So this can also be important. So you can see here there is no way that I can resize it. Now the next thing here, because all these buttons here are, well, basically you I've got something in the wrong position now. Let me put that. Okay, let's go to there, to there, to there. You'll also note here that when I move these things, you can also see you may see little lines here, just to show you. That helps me with the alignment of my controls. So it seems to have made a mess of it, actually. If you want my opinion, that's when I put everything back to how it should have been. And now I will have to check on the my tab order again to make sure that hasn't changed at all, per chance. 0 dot plus answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mile. Okay, now that's okay. I've just got the window on my other screen here. Okay. So the last thing for this video perhaps is to show you what will happen, or what we're going to do is we're going to here on the clicking of a button, shall we say, we will have an on-click event, and let's say on click on okay on click button. We're going to do something here, and now hopefully I will be able to make all of these ones here use the same event handler. And all we're going to do right now will be probably going to be doing two things, I'm going to say. What I'm going to basically do here is I'm going to basically use the tag property of these controls here to give me some information about the what the button is, and I will be using an array elsewhere, or using an enum type even, to give me some further information about what the button is. So these ones are going to be 7, 8, 9. This one here, we'll worry about that later. Maybe make it 100. We'll see. Fourth, we're going to put this one here as 4, 5, 6. Hang on, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to, rather than using the actual caption on the button, we're going to use the that one there should be 2, and that one's still that one's out of order. And I have a feeling that that Lazarus here automatically works out my tab order, on the fly, which I think is quite handy. It means I don't have to, worry about that myself. So, okay, let's go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now we can go. So that's all the numbers taken into account. Let's go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hang on, that should be 16. What was that one? 4. Hang on. 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. No, that should be. No, that's right. 15. Because I started at 0, didn't I? 15, and now this one here will be 16. So if we were to add any more buttons in, we can. So basically what we'll be using is a lookup array to go from the tag to a button, and if we wanted to modify this thing in the future, we could easily add in the other buttons which you see on that Google calculator, which do other actions like the pi symbol, for instance. Well, actually, if we did want to add a pi symbol in, let's just, for the sake of, if I did put a button here like pi, that would become 17, and I would go to here. Because I don't really have a pi symbol instantly available to me, I'm just going to type out here pi. And if I know that button gets hit, then I can replace whatever is up top there with the value of pi. Or maybe I could have you could have in actual calculation the let's say pi with a number of digits added on. And here what we're going to basically do, all we're going to do right now is when the user presses the button, we're going to put something into the memo field here. So what we can do here is memo 1 dot text equals memo 1 dot text plus sender as t button dot t1 dot caption. This will not put any spaces in there at the moment, but you know, that's okay. That's all we want to do. And let us run this program now. So let's go 1 times 2 minus, 6 sort of thing. We're going to worry about getting the answer next time. And before I leave you, I would just like to ask you that if you do like my content, please like, subscribe, and also press the notification button somewhere down there. It will make it much easier for my channel to grow, and all I'm really trying to do is to spread the love of Pascal and the possibilities of it in its many forms and variations. So yeah, so look, thank you, and I will see you next time again. Bye.